morning, and thank you for joining us. And we're really privileged that all of you are taking some quality time and joining us tonight. And our goal is to really share as much value as possible in the next few minutes. My name is Dina Michael. This is my husband, Elan. And we've been married, so not just life partners, but together with 4 children, raising a family for the last 15 years, and side-by-side business partners as well. And it's interesting because looking back, when we met each other, we were doing okay. We were paying the bills. We were making enough money to survive and be fine. But we talked a lot about what our dreams were and what our goals were, and we knew that we wanted more. There were certain things that we were really clear about. We wanted to have a family, and we wanted to have a lot of friends, and we wanted to grow and work on ourselves, and be in a positive environment and meet good people. And we wanted to travel the world, and we wanted to have fun, and all the things that we wanted to do. Obviously, as we continued talking, we were really crystal clear on the fact that we wanted and needed to be financially free. We needed to be financially independent. And with that being said, we knew that we had to learn more and know more about money, and even discover, business, how business works, how entrepreneurship works. And we took some quality time, and we met with people and found ourselves some mentors and read a lot of books, and we started to really dissect what are some of the secrets of people that are not just living an okay life, but living that dream life. And so for tonight, we really wanted to take some time to just take you through a little bit of our journey and just share a little bit, just a few of the main key things that we integrated into our lives to help you and to give you maybe some ideas or some food for thought or some tips to basically, help you get on the right track, or if you're already on the right track, help you get there faster or smarter. And it is just to tell you what we're not here to do. We're not here to sell you anything. We don't have any products here to talk to you about. We're not trying to sign you up to anything here in terms of like events or workshops or podcasts or sell you any books. Like I said, we just want to take you through our story and just maybe highlight some of the things that we did that got us on the right track. And just looking back too, it's always so interesting to meet so many people from so many walks of life. I mean, we've probably met literally, if not hundreds, then thousands of people between the two of us. We've done big group events, we do seminars, workshops. I mean, we meet people from all over the world. People from also different career backgrounds, teachers and doctors and lawyers. And we're showing a little picture of our family. Those are our 4 cute kids. Most of the time, we got 2 daughters and 2 sons. And really trying to be a role model for them too. I mean, it's all incorporated, all connected. But yeah, you would think that with all the resources out there, I mean, all you need to do is for people to Google or go on YouTube, and there are classes and there's information, and you could download materials and read books and try to get some clues and try to find your way and maneuver into financial planning and figure out how to invest smart and how to be prepared for your future. But what we've discovered is that sometimes the fundamentals and the basics get overlooked, and unfortunately too many people, they don't have that person that they can talk to who's really making sure that they're on track and holding them accountable. And this is where, for the both of us, finding some people to help us along this journey was really, really important. And for us, not just are we going to touch on those main key tips, but I want to point out that a recent, it wasn't a survey, it was more of a study that took place, and they focused mostly on millennials, but many generations. And they were looking at how so many people are inundated with content all the time, all day long. And the challenge with that is that because there's so much information tugging at us, think about social media. I mean, there's just so much going on in our brains all the time. And with all of these resources, you would think that we're smarter. You would think that we're more prepared for the future. You would think that people now have more information so they can make healthier choices. But what we've realized is that if anything, it's kind of backfired. And in the last 10 years, we're actually 10% more illiterate than we were before financially. So it's pretty shocking. And if you take a look at where we're at as a country, what we've seen over and over is that most families are still paycheck to paycheck. So 90% of people today, families in the land of the free and the home of the brave, I mean, this is the United States of America, and people are still struggling financially. They're still stressed out about money. They're still worried about next month and then the month after that. So us realizing all of this, we said, wow, we've got to really take our focus and really focus on financial literacy and figure out what do we need to do to get involved and help people to be smarter and be more prepared. So Elan, if you can just dive right in and share some of the tips that we've written down, those 5 main key points that have helped us to get on the right track.
Absolutely, thanks so much. And once again, welcome. I'm excited about getting the chance to share a few of these concepts that actually has helped both Dina and I over the course of the last nearly 20 years in this business, or at least for myself. And a lot of it has to do with habits. Because discipline is a wonderful thing, but habits is what's going to carry you through to the next level. We've sat down with so many families, those that make a lot of money, those that make average amount of money, but at the end of the day, it's not about how much money you make, it's more or less how much money you get a chance to keep. And when you think about it, by you and I getting the opportunity of constantly saving and investing into our future, you're going to end up having a heck of a lot more long term. There's a quick PowerPoint slide I want to share with you, having to deal with cutting some money from here and from there to be able to save long term. I'll give you another example. When I met Dina, I used to smoke cigarettes, and obviously it's a disgusting habit. And I realized that it was either the cigarettes or her. I chose her. And think about the amount of money that I ended up saving long term. 15 years worth of not smoking at about $10 a pack at an 8% rate of return. That literally saved me and showed me how to be able to grow my wealth by over $100,000, plus get a chance to save my lung and my health, all because of her. So you think about it, by you and I saving money from sodas and cigarettes and Starbucks and all these things that we go out like eating out, by you and I consistently saving $300 a month at the next 30 years at an 8% rate of return, you'll end up with about $447,000. But by adding an additional $300, which means now you've got $600 to invest, you literally double your investment. So when you are retired, you've got a heck of a lot more to work with. So you have a better lifestyle, get a chance to travel more, spend more time with your kids, spend more time with your parents, spend more time with whoever you want, because you're not under a financial stress, counting on Social Security or anything of that nature. And so just making small tweaks on a daily basis will help you with the long-term habits as far as your investments. Also, another thing that makes sense is having to deal with growth option. There's a few different ways to invest our money long-term. And I remember Dina and I grabbing a seat a while ago and realizing, what do we want long-term? What is our money goal? What's our investment goal? What's our lifestyle goal? And most people, because of a lack of understanding, tend to just invest in something called fixed accounts. Simple, low rate of return, just a low interest bearing rate of return. Other people invest in more like a variable account, something like, really, really high rate of return, and if the market goes down, they lose a bunch of things, like, I don't know, like in 2008. Everybody was doing great, and then 2008, the market crashed, and they lost a whole bunch. When you think about it, the true way to be able to build long-term that the wealthy people already know is called indexing. When the market goes up, you lock in the gain. When the market comes down, you're flat, so you don't lose. And as the market continues to increase and decrease, you take part with all the gains, but avoid all the losses. And so as you listen to both Dina and I share with you our story of where we've been and where we're going, ask yourself, how would you like to grow your money? Is it fixed, is it variable, or is it indexed? Because long term, you'll end up winning when it comes to keeping your money safe. So it's not always about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep and how much money you get a chance to invest for long term. And as I get a chance to wrap up, one of the things that I realized that a lot of us live in is procrastination. There's a little joke about procrastination called, that's the worst nation to live in, procrastination. Because when you think about it, by wasting time and not putting things to work for you and putting it in a plan, you're wasting more and more and more and more years. And there's a quick slide I want to share with you that really made a big impact in our lives when we saw this a few years ago. If, let's say there's person A that consistently sets aside $5,000 a year for 40 years right at around retirement time, and about a 10% rate of return over the course of these 40 years, versus option B or person B that puts it aside, doesn't really take take it to heart. He'd rather go out there and spend money on a new car or travel or do other things. Those 2 years at that 10% rate of return may seem like not a big deal, like $10,000, no big deal. But when the compound interest is added to this and the time that's being lost, those 2 years, person A would end up with roughly 2.6 million. Person B will be roughly at 2.1 million. That leaves a deficit of nearly $500,000 by waiting those 2 years. And so as you're listening to what it is that we're trying to convey here, I want you to think about how many years have you been investing and how many years, unfortunately, you may not have been investing. And so the more you start with, the more you'll have long term, which is obvious. And as you figure this thing out, I believe $500,000, whether now or in the future, will give you a better way of life. More time with your kids, more travel, more seeing the world. $500,000 for anything will make a better impact in your life long term. I'm going to pass it over to Dina to get a chance to wrap up a couple of things with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking earlier today, and we were kind of reflecting on our journey in the last decade plus. And I'm proud of a lot of it. Definitely made some mistakes along the way. Made some smart decisions along the way too. And some of the smarter ones was making sure that we had many buckets working for us at the same time. So we weren't just, saving in the fixed bucket. We weren't just saving in the index bucket. We were also in the variable. So we were doing our best to diversify and then also add to that, diversify with the types of companies that we were saving and investing and planning with, and then add more. So from 3 accounts to 10 accounts to 15 accounts, and then this is the kind of stuff that built our confidence and helped us to not just get on the right track, but then also stay on the right track. And we were talking about the importance of having the right people who are guiding us. And I thought back to one of the stories that I'm so thankful for. I don't have a lot of great talents that a lot of people that I work with have. They can sing and they can dance and they can cook. But one of the things that I had was I had somebody who was looking out for me. My grandma. And when I was a little girl, I was 6 or 7 years old. She sat me down and she said, Dina, she said, every time you get money, whether it's your birthday or a holiday or your bat mitzvah, whatever, she goes, I want you to take your money and I want you to send it to me. She was living in California and I'm from Brooklyn, New York. And I remember telling my grandmother, like, no, I don't want to do that. Why would I send you my money? And it was interesting because what she said to me, it got me and it made sense. She said, Dina, anytime you send me some money, I'm going to take my own money out of my accounts and I'm going to add it to your plans. And I said, okay, and I liked that. And I remember as a little girl, whether it was like sleeting or snowing or hailing or raining, this is Brooklyn, I would be asking my mother for a stamp and I would be stuffing my envelope with $10, $20, whatever I could to send it to my grandmother. And she had, at the time, she had opened up 3 different funds for me. And I was about 17 years old when I sat down with her. This was the first time I ever looked at my paperwork to look at what I had. And I had over $67,000 saved because of her wisdom, may she rest in peace. And so this is where, thankfully, along the way, we were introduced to this industry. We loved it so much, the learning and the growing. We decided to get certified. And we were talking about, like, what are the main questions that people ask us day in, day out, because we've seen so many people. So, like, what is the main question that we hear all the time? And I'm going to share it with you because it doesn't change. Usually what people say to us is they say, Elan, Dina, they say, you know what, we need to save money. Yes, we need to put money away for the future. We want to put money away. But we only have a little bit of money. And we also need life insurance. And because we got kids or we have parents or siblings that we want to take care of. And especially because the average person in America, when they pass away, they leave behind debt of over $67,000. Think about that same amount of money. So you're leaving behind a legacy of debt. So people are like, I know that I need protection, I need life insurance, or I need disability insurance, or long-term care, or critical care protection in case I get into, God forbid, an accident or cancer or whatever it is. So people know that they need this, but at the same time they say, Dina, we have a really tight budget, right? So they say, can you tell us what we should do first, or can you tell us, what we should do, and then we'll take care of the other stuff later. The procrastination kind of kicks in. And I always say the same thing. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Nothing is promised. I'm not a fortune teller. We don't have a crystal ball. I have no idea what is going to happen for any of us, myself, of course, included. So with that being said, today there are modern plans, really smart plans. The state of California actually has probably 5 or 6 different carriers at this time that offer these hybrid indexing kinds of accounts where you can put away $100 or $200 or $500 or whatever it is every single month into one account. And you know what? If you need money for retirement, you tap into that in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. It can give you that income back where it's grown, tax-free and safe. But if you need life insurance, if somebody ends up getting sick or passing away or getting disabled, you can tap into the benefit of protection in that account. It's all built into one. So we believe that people need to know and need to learn how to stretch the dollar, especially if it's so tight. And we work so hard for our money. And so many people, they tell me every day, they say, Dina, yes, I go to work for my loved ones and I'm working as hard as I can, but very few people know how to put money to work for them. So just wrapping up with like the last thing that we just wanted to kind of give you as food for thought for the night, because we wanted to keep this short and sweet, but we want to hear from you. We don't want to, moving forward, we've got some great ideas and plans in the works and things coming. We don't want to like talk at you or talk to you. We've got some great value and content that we want to continue sharing, but we want to hear from you. We want feedback. So if there's a specific topic that you think will help you in your life, if you want to learn or know more about debt or investing or insurance or I don't know, a will, trust, is there something specific that you need more information about? We want to put that out there and we want to give you access to real information that's going to help you get to your goals. And the fifth and main thing that has brought us to really own our future, and when I think about it, yeah, I am proud and I feel pretty good about some of the great decisions that we've made. We have a multi-million-dollar net worth. We've got a passive recurring residual income, but beyond the beautiful house and the cars and all the nice things that we have and the investments and the savings and the assets and all of that is the quality of time that we're able to take where we don't have a boss on our every day, telling us where to be and when to be. We're able to really control and design our life day in and day out and week in and week out. And we see a lot of people who want that and who want more information on how to achieve that. And for us, that was the fifth thing, which is learning and knowing more about business and entrepreneurship and how does passive income even work. What is the concept of residual income or reoccurring income? We had to get information about that. So we just want to leave you with this thought that this is an industry where, yes, Wall Street is out there, big and powerful. It's a big industry, but unfortunately, Wall Street is helping maybe the 5%ers, right? Like 5% of people making over $250,000 a year or $500,000 a year. They're really targeting, people that got $500,000 to invest today at this moment. And most everyday families are being left behind. So when we think about that, that caused us to kind of roll up our sleeves and get involved in this industry where together as an organization, we've been able to build different locations where we have free events and classes, and the goal really is to help people learn, to help people get the material and the information in their hands, in their laps, so that they can make these smarter decisions as they plan for their future. So this is an industry that needs good people. We need the next generation of leaders. We need definitely to grow in different areas. So if you're the type of person that wants to learn more about business or entrepreneurship or investing or whatever it is, or finances, something that we all have to know regardless, we just want to say hi tonight just for now, say hello, let you know we're looking forward to meeting you in person, shaking your hand, knowing who you are, welcoming you into one of our locations, and seeing how we might be able to potentially help others together and reach our goals one day at a time and one family at a time. So with that being said, thank you for joining us, and we'll keep you posted. And if you could get back to the person who invited you this evening and let them know, give them feedback on what we can do to provide more value for you in the future.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Take care.
See you soon.
Stop. Cool.
There you go. All right. Okay. Good.
What?
You're like the only guy on there.
Okay.
No, there was a whole lot.
A whole lot of people. A whole lot of people.